Hey, my name is Faizan Malik, and this is my story. Yeah, so I think 2 weeks ago, it was 2 weeks ago, last Wednesday, we were getting our exam scores back for my mechanical engineering class. It's like the advanced version of Calculus 4. And so before giving the exam scores back, the professor says, I'm not going to haggle for points. I'm not going to negotiate for points. And I'm like, okay, you're the professor. You're the guy who makes the rules. Agreed. Perfect, right? I'm not going to question you. You're the boss. And then after like the class ends, he gives back the exams, and obviously every student is gonna have, or not all students, but some students are gonna have some objection, right? Like they're gonna be like, oh, um, like maybe I deserve some points here. Could you please recheck this part of my exam? Could you please recheck this question? And the professor's like, yeah, for sure. I'll take this exam back, and I think like you're gonna get some points here and there, and I'll recheck it and I'll spare you some points. And so all the students pass by. He spares them some points. Let students go, and I'm like, and I am the second last in line. There's one more guy behind me. And when I go up to him, I say like, one of my friends who sits on my left in class, we all sit in the front. He did this question in a certain way, and I did this in a certain way, and I feel like I did it correctly, but you gave him 14 more points than you gave me, right? Which was my concern, which I saw. And then he goes, I told the whole class, I'm not going to negotiate for points. I'm not going to haggle. This is not the Middle Eastern bazaar where you haggle for stuff. This is not my culture. Yeah, he says that to me, and then he does like a throwing gesture. He does like, this is not where you do this, and like this happens. And so yeah, like I think as much as like I at the moment I laughed it off, but I think this did affect me as thick skinned as I'd like to be. Like obviously I'm human at the end of the day, so I think this did affect me. And like whenever sometimes I go to class, the first week after that incident, when I went to class, I did not feel so like comfortable sitting in class, because I sit in the front and then looking at the professor, it just kept on rewinding, and like replaying that whole incident over and over again in my head. And I was feeling like a bit like nauseous and like maybe headachy, like I was kind of like feeling like I was getting a headache, or maybe it was just me who was feeling that. But I feel like that indicates that I did get affected by it. When I talk to my parents, they're like, since I'm an international student, they're like, don't do anything, just forgive the guy. This happens a lot, blah, blah, blah. Talk to my cousins, they're like, don't say anything, just go to the professor and like try to negotiate him for points and don't address the incident. But the students that I shared this incident with over here, they were like, get that guy, like get that guy, take some action. So I was kind of like polarized as to what I'm supposed to do, and I pretty much ended up taking no action. Because to this day, like I don't know what to do with that, but I think like that's a good, for me, I think that would be a good story to tell. And yeah. Yep. And is there, what else, are there any other stories? Okay, so other stories, if you want other stories, is that these days I'm missing home, since I'm international, and I come from Pakistan. I'm a mechanical engineering major, like in my third year, and these days I haven't been back home in a year.